Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Story Time channel. I'm Pallavi reading interesting stories for you. Today I'm reading the Tales from the Arabian Nights. From that book I'm reading The Seven Voyages of Sindbad. Now, do you know that Sindbad is a sailor and he did seven voyages? Okay? Now let's go to the story. Once upon a time, during the reign of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, there lived in Baghdad a poor man named Sindbad. He was a hamal, a porter. One hot morning, when the load he was carrying on his head was particularly heavy, Sindbad stopped to rest outside the house of a rich merchant. Through the gate he saw beautiful garden and heard sweet voices raise in song to the tinkle of musical instruments. Well clad servants were going about their task, and the tantalizing smell of roasted meat floated out to him. Strange are your ways, Almighty Allah, said the Sindbad sadly. Some men, like owner of this house, live like kings, while the others, like me, live in utter misery and want. But I will not rail against my fate. All-wise, all-knowing God, I'll trust in your justice. Forgive whatever sins I have committed. Sindbad picked up his load and was about to move on when a young servant came out from the gate and stopped him, saying that his master wished to speak to him. The bewildered porter tried to excuse himself, but no avail. Leaving his load with the doorkeeper, he timidly followed the servant into the grand mansion within the house. It was cool. He was led to a banquet hall where, in the midst of many richly attired noblemen, sat the master of house, white beard, stately and dignified. Sindbad bent down and kissed the ground before him. The master welcomed him graciously and urged him to take a seat. Servants offered him fine wines and plates loaded with food. Praising Allah, Sindbad had the finest meal he had ever tasted. When everyone had eaten, the master asked Sindbad to introduce himself and to repeat what he said as he stood outside the gate. Turning red in acute embarrassment, Sindbad did so. "My name is Sindbad too," said the master with a smile. "I am Sindbad the sailor. Strange and adventurous has been my life. I suffered tremendous hardships during the 7 voyages I undertook, but the grace of Almighty Allah preserved me and brought me to this life of prosperity. Listen to my story. Now we are going to read the first voyage of Sindbad. Now listen his story carefully. My father was a wealthy merchant. He died when I was still a child. I grew up and squandered almost all the wealth I had inherited before I realized my foolishness. When I did so, I resolved to work hard and seek my fortune in foreign lands. I sold all that possessed, even my clothes, for 3,000 dirhams. I bought what I needed for long sea voyages and boarded a ship from the port of Basra. We sailed for many days and many nights, buying, selling, and bartering goods wherever we touch land. After a long stretch during which we stopped at no ports, we came upon a beautiful land. There were no trees on it, but the land was covered with fine sand, amethyst, which had grown a profusion of small plants. We were all longing to go ashore and stretch our legs. The captain brought the ship alongside. Sailors put out the landing planks and we went ashore. Fires were lit to cook our food, and we started eating, drinking, and walking about. Suddenly, the captain, who had remained on the ship, cried out, "Hurry back and save yourselves. What you are standing on is no island, but the back of huge fish on which sand has settled and plants have grown. This great beast has felt the heat of your cooking fires and begun to stir. Soon it will go down under the sea and take you with it. Drop everything and hurry back." All of us run for our lives. Some men reached the ship, others, including me, did not. The great fish heaved and then sank into the sea, taking us with it. I would have drawn like the others, but Allah in His mercy saved me. Though the waves tossed me this way and that, I was able to hold on to a big wooden tub and use my feet as paddles. But my relief was short lived. The captain sailed away with those who had managed to reach the ship and abandoned the rest of us to our fate. Cold, hungry, and exhausted, somehow I survived that whole night and the next day till the wooden tub brought me close to an island with overhanging trees. I caught hold of a branch and pulled myself up on land, where I lay for many hours like a dead man till the morning sun revived me. I could not walk, my limbs were cramped, and my feet were swollen. Fish had nibbled my soles of my feet. I crawled on my knees till I found a spring with fresh, sweet water to drink. Allah be praised. I also found many delicious fruits to eat, and thus slowly I recovered my strength and my spirits. One day, as I was exploring the island, I saw a handsome mare tethered on the beach. She shied away from me when I approached her. I was enormously excited to see some sign of human habitation. As I was waiting in the hope that someone would come to claim the mare, the man came out from under the earth and held me. I told him who I was and how I had escaped death by the mercy of Allah. The stranger took my hand and led me into a large underground chamber where he gave me food to eat and made me comfortable. He told me he worked as a groom for King Mihjan. The mare I had seen was one of the priceless horses that belonged to the king. Soon other grooms appeared, each leading a mare, and they took me with them to King Mirja, who welcomed me warmly. On his bidding, I narrated my story. The king was very kind to me. "My son," he said, "by the grace of Allah, you have indeed had miraculous escape. Stay here with us. I appoint you my agent for the port. You will register all ships that enter our harbor. I work as a high official for King Mirza for many months. During my stay, I saw many marvels, such as a fish 200 cubits long and another with a head like that and all. I was on duty one day when a great ship sailed into the harbor. After the crew had brought all their goods ashore, I asked the captain if anything remained in the hold of the ship. My lord, he answered, there are some bells of merchandise that belong to a merchant who was drowned. We plan to sell these goods and give the money to his family in Baghdad when we return. What was the name of the drowned merchant? I asked. It was Sindbad. Allah rest his soul, said the captain. I looked at him closely and recognized him. Oh, Captain, I cried, it's me. I am that Sindbad who you thought was drowned. The grace of Allah saved me and brought me to this island where I have prospered in the service of the good King Mir Chan. The bells in the hold of your ship are mine. At first, the captain did not believe me at all. He thought I was a liar and a thief. But I related all that had happened on the voyage until we reached the fish island where my companions had drowned in the sea. Then, and only then, did the captain and the other sailors believe me and finally recognize me. They crowded round me, saying, oh, Allah has granted you a new life. I opened the bells of merchandise that belonged to me and presented King Mirjan with the finest goods that they contained. He was greatly pleased and bestowed rich gift on me in return. I sold my merchandise at good profit in the city and bought many goods to take back with me. When the ship was ready to start on its homeward voyage, I asked King Mirjan for permission to leave his service. I thanked him profusely for all he had done for me. The kind hearted king showered me with gifts and let me go. We set sail. After a long voyage, we reached the port of Basra safely. From there, I went home to Baghdad, where my friends and relations welcomed me. Once again, I was rich, even richer than before. I settled down to enjoy my life and forget all the hardships I had suffered at sea. This then is the story of my first voyage. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will relate to you what happened on the second. Finished Sindbad the sailor. He shared a meal with Sindbad the porter, gifted him with 100 gold dinars, and asked him to return on the morrow to hear more of his adventures. The Hamal went home rejoicing at his good fortune. Early the following morning, after saying his prayers, Sindbad the porter returned to the house of Sindbad and sailor, who welcomed him and seated him by his side. When the other noblemen had assembled, the best of food and drink was served to him. After they had all had their fill, Sindbad the sailor began the story of his second voyage. Now we will see the second voyage in the next story.